What's up, fellow car enthusiasts? My name's JD with Gridline Go. If you haven't, please watch, like, and subscribe, or one of them, or three of them, or any of them, or just give us some feedback so we can go off of and kind of comment back, and we kind of want to know how you feel about our videos. Today we're going to be taking the top speed limiter off of a 1993 Nissan 240SX. It's a 5-speed manual. It does not have cruise control. I'm thinking those are pretty much the only things that would make a difference on how the system would work. If you know of anything else, please let us know. I didn't really get too technical with it. It's more just kind of, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then boom, look, it works. You will need a couple tools though. So this is what you need to do it. You need a panel popper, 10mm, number 3 Phillips, and electrical tape, maybe some zip ties, a couple other little odds and ends. I actually already did it, and we're gonna walk through on how to do it today. So it's kind of a reverse engineer idea here. All right, so for the first step, we're actually gonna go under the car. We are very, very fortunate to have the use of a shop. As you can see, we're standing in a shop here. Thank you for Andy over at McLaren Automotive Service for letting us use your facilities. We're gonna put the thing up in the air instead of crawling under it with a floor jack and axle stands, which is not a bad way to do it. It's just this is a lot nicer and easier, and we're gonna take advantage of it. So first thing, get it in the air, and then I'll show you what sensors we're going to be playing with. Here we are under the car, got it up in the air. I just wanted to show you there's a couple different position sensors on the side of this transmission. We're going to unplug 2 of them. We're going to leave the other 2 plugged in. The 2 that we need to leave plugged in will make the reverse lights work and also make the speedometer work, along with other things. The other 2, you have them disconnected. One of them, I believe, is called a neutral sensor, and the other one's called a 5th gear sensor. I've heard conflicting information on that. So anyway, I know this works because I've done it and I've tried it. So let me just show you which ones we're talking about. This one right here is for the reverse lights. So it's a position switch. It's just a normally open and normally closed switch. It's got a little ball socket in there, and whenever the thing comes in and touches it and does gizmo stuff and mumbo jumbo and the lights turn on. Ta-da. That's good, leave that one plugged in. The other 2 in the center that look similar to that are unplugged. You don't need to tape off where the sensors are, or at least I didn't, because this one's leaking and this one I don't care about. I did tape off this harness up here above and kind of routed it so it wouldn't be too much in the way. Again, this isn't ideal, but it works. So these 2 disconnected. Now the one you do not want to disconnect is back here. If you're asking where the plug is, it's all the way up here. Do not mess with this. There are some information sites that are saying to cut this wire, to put a switch on this wire, and then it will all work. That may be the case, but your speedometer does not work at that point, and that's not ideal. Anyway, you leave these 2 disconnected, and then I'll show you inside the car which one to disconnect. We're going to be shooting some of this in first person. Is that Eric?
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Sorry,
all right.
Right in your shot. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Okay, so here we are with our tools. And it's kind of hard. I'd like to have a nice place to put this, but I kind of don't. So this is the kick panel we're going to be working with. Actually, it looks pretty good. This is the kick panel we're going to be working with. If you look over here, there's a screw. Right there, there's one little screw. And then if you look up there, there's another screw. Yeah, past the light. That guy right there. So you could use either a 10mm or a Phillips. So we're going to get this panel off. Oh, yeah, there's also a, there's a little, pop, what would you call that thing? Panel, clip, plastic thing that usually breaks. Yeah, okay, don't worry about that. Anyway, so we got that, and we're gonna take some stuff off. And if you can't get up there with the screwdriver, which it looks like it's a little tough, oh no, but it's gone. Okay. Okay, got those two. Then we're gonna take off this. Now this is actually kind of a pain to do. It's kind of in a really crappy spot. It looks a lot nicer if you could be a barbarian. Oh look, that worked out nice. You could be a barbarian and just rip it, but that actually worked really nice. Okay, now this one, you don't have to mess with that. These things actually kind of are a pain. You kind of just slip the panel forward and you should be able to slide it out. Extremely hard to do one-handed, but working here. Here we go. Okay, kind of pull it back and down and away. Mine has the light because I put it in and a whole bunch of fun wiring. Okay, so here is my little wire. Okay, now you get your 10mm. Don't worry about that either. That just okay. That one little wire that I just tucked back in there was not factory, not part of the car. Someone that I know that used to own the car put that wire in to monitor his throttle position sensor because he was having issues, but got it figured out. Okay, so normally the battery would be disconnected, but I'm just gonna do this. So pull the connector off of your engine control module. Okay, so once that is off, you got wires that go up and wires go down. It's kind of stuck in here. Again, don't worry about that guy. That you're not gonna have to worry about. So this is the wire that we're after. Some people cut it, but I decided to pull it out of the back of the connector because if for whatever reason I would like to go back to having that thing on, all I would have to do is connect it. Or you could leave your car set up the way that it is, and you can put a switch in here in this little wire, and that way it would be it's easily turned on and turned off. Okay. Once we get the connector off like this, you're gonna pull this thing kind of out so you can see the wires. There we go. Now, on the top, if you look, this is how it's plugged in, right? There we go. So, once I get this thing going, hold it at the top. If you look right in there, right in between, let me kind of move it so you can see a little better. Kind of hard. I'm sorry. I will get it going and then let the camera focus once it is good. Okay. So, if you look right there, see that hole in between the yellow and the black wire? That is pin number 32, which comes from the vehicle speed sensor. So, mine is removed. Here it is. Go, baby, go. You could cut that wire. Here's the wire. This is a yellow wire with a green stripe. And it comes from the bottom and it goes up to that pin 32. To get the connector apart and do what I did, see, again, if you wanted to, you could just go snip. You can cut this guy, cut it, and you're done. And tape it off and then have no issues. But I didn't want to do that because I don't like cutting wires unnecessarily. So what I did is I actually pulled the connector apart and removed the pin from the back. So the way you do that is you take your small little clip type, small little tool. It's using a suitable tool, as some manufacturers would say. And I'm going to actually do my best to demonstrate this to you. You go to the back of this thing, actually folds down. I wish I could move this thing further so you could see it better. That thing actually folds down. This is extremely difficult to do with one hand. There we go. Okay, so that folds down. That's the lock. You can get to the pin. So what I'm going to do is take out a pin that's next to it just to show you. I'm going to take out a pin that's next to it just to show you which one. But this one right here, right there. Pin number 32, which is our yellow and green wire. You want to remove it. So I'm just going to show you how to get these pins out, and you're supposed to be doing it with the other wire that's already removed. Cannot stress that enough. So anyway, so you grab the wire, said wire. We're just going to grab this black one actually and do it to that. Okay, so you want to kind of get that thing kind of out of the way and ready to go. And then from the front, once you have this lock up and out of the way, from the front, you can actually look in there, you'll see the little clip that you need to release. You're going to push in there, again using a suitable tool, and push up on that small little clip. Like so. So, again, this is a reference on how to do that, and you want to do that like what I just did with this black wire to pin number 32 with the yellow and green wire. Then, when you're done, you put it all back together. Done! Legit. Alright, now it's all together. Now the next thing you need to do, start it on up, make sure that it starts. I personally am not a fan of the clutch safety switch for a number of reasons, so I don't have to push my clutch. Anyway, that's just my thing, so you should be sitting in your driver's seat and make sure it's in neutral. So you start it up, make sure that it starts, maybe even give it a blip. Okay, it runs, it's all good. Now, the only thing I have to say is drive responsibly, because now it's not limited, and it will drive faster than 117 miles an hour. So, enjoy.